open for open enrollment by going to my More Options button right over here. So there's always a More Options button at the very end. If you click on that More Options button, you're going to see several different things that you can do now to make some more features available within your course. That very first one that I have right here was letting those students self-enroll by sharing with them a secret URL or a code. And when I selected that, it gave me another option as well. I could also put a join this course link right on that course homepage. So a button that will say join this course and then they can enroll. I could have done that, but in my case here, I just chose to just give them a link and share a join code with them. As we continue on down, you're going to see show recent announcements on the course homepage. That I will let you know is something that we added to Canvas because we had that in our feature request forum. Several of our users wanted to know if they could put announcements on that course homepage so their students could see that announcement right away instead of having to go to the announcements button in the navigation. That's just an example of how a suggestion for a feature inside of our community actually gets implemented into Canvas. So be sure when you have a great idea of how you think Canvas can work a little bit better to put that in our feature request area there. Let other people in the community vote on it, and then we'll be picking it up, taking a look at it, seeing if it's something that we can add into our system, just like we did for this one, showing those recent announcements on that course homepage. So after that, you can then decide how many announcements do you want showing on that homepage. And you can go up to 15. But really, that's not really best practice, right? You probably just want 1, 2, or 3 announcements. You want the most relevant, timely information showing on that homepage. You don't want your homepage to be a list of all past announcements more than likely. So I wouldn't recommend going all the way down to 15 here. As you can continue on down through here, you're going to see that there are a few related specifically to discussions. So your discussion inside of Canvas you can expand that set by clicking on any of these. So you can let students attach files to discussions. You can let students create their own discussion topics in your course, meaning they don't have to be in a group to create those discussions. Typically, by default, only the instructor can create those discussions in the course. Now you can allow your students to do that as well if you select that right there. You can also think about whether or not you want to let your students edit or delete their own discussion post. So think about that as well. I personally, and Erin and I have both had this conversation before, we would like to see this split out because sometimes a student just makes a spelling error and wants to correct it. But you really don't want them to delete it because you want to see their authentic post as they come in before they start reading everybody else's. A little further down, let students organize their own groups. Now this works a little bit differently from the group area in which you as the instructor create a group and then you decide whether you're going to assign people to that group